Okay, these are the lesson 4 practice problems key. It says select all the statements that must be true for any scaled copy Q of polygon P. So we're going to make a scaled copy of this shape. What would have to be true? The side lengths are all whole numbers. Well, we don't have any of the side lengths. I don't know what they are. So they could be halves. They could be 0.3. I don't know. So that's not true. B, the angle measures are all whole numbers. Well, look at them. 135, 80, 90, 250, 125, 35. Those are whole numbers. So B is true. Polygon Q would have one right angle. That's also true because there's one right angle in polygon P. If the scale factor between P and Q is a fifth, so Q is going to be smaller, then each side length of P is multiplied by a fifth to get the corresponding side length of Q. Yes, that's true. That's what we do. We multiply by the scale factor. E. If the scale factor is 2, each angle is multiplied by 2. No, the angles never change. These angles will be the same measure in polygon Q. And Q has 2 acute angles and 3 obtuse. Well, it does have 2 acute means smaller than 90, and obtuse are larger than 90. It has 3 obtuse, 2 acute, so that is true. Okay, so B, C, D, and F. Number 2, quadrilateral PQRS is a scaled copy of ABCD, and I just put PQRS so I'd remember which point went with which point. If the distance to PR is 3, it says, what's the distance from Q to S? Well, in this shape, P to R is 6 squares. I mean, A to C is 6, and B to D is 6. If it was 3 from P to R, then it must be 3 from Q to S, and the scale factor would be a half. Okay, because it's getting smaller, so we know it's going to be a fraction less than 1, and it's 1/2. Number 3, we have 2 shapes that are scaled copies of each other. It says identify the points in figure 2 that correspond to the points A and C, and then label them P and R. So P and R. What's the distance? You just count. It was 6. Then identify the points in figure 1 that correspond to Q and S. These two. So that would be B and D. What's the distance between them? Just count 1, 2, 3. So the scale factor that takes figure 1 to figure 2, we went from 2, if you look here, this is 2, and over here it's 6. So we are multiplying by 3. Now it says G and H are 2 points on figure 1, but they're not shown. The distance is 1. Okay, so there's something here that has a distance of 1 between it. So if my scale factor is 3, I would take 1 times 3, and the distance between the corresponding points on this shape would be the same, would be 3. Okay, you just always multiply by that scale factor once you find it. And then number 4, we're making a batch of lavender paint, and it says we're going 6 pink to 5 blue to get that. So what would be some other ratios that are equivalent? You can multiply by 2 and get 12 over 10. You could multiply by 3 and get 18 over 15, or multiply by 4 and get 24 over 20. Those are all equivalent ratios. Okay, and that's the lesson 4 practice key.